Well, good evening, KingdomPreneurs. How are you today? We are on day 25 of our 30 days of energy pulls to create the space you desire and for your future. I want to speak today about being you from the space of nothingness. Again, I am Satella DeVoe. I am a KingdomPreneur, spiritual entrepreneur that works with spiritual entrepreneurs, creatives, entrepreneurs, healers, seekers, all those desirous of unlocking their soul scroll mission and purpose, why you're here in this world, why you're here in the earth. I can facilitate you in stepping into that place and unlocking everything about you that you need to know so that you can show up, be you, and be brilliant and phenomenal in the world. That's what I do. Now today, as I said, we're going to continue, and we want to speak from the perspective of being you from the space of nothingness. Yesterday, I spoke about receiving everything and embracing nothing. So you receive everything, but you embrace nothing. And why is that so significant? It's significant because if you can operate from that particular energy and space, it puts you beyond time. This is my belief. It puts you beyond time in a space where you're operating from your infinite self, your eternal self. Remember, you are an eternal being. You're an energetic being. You have always existed, and you always will exist. You made a divine contract with the Creator, Yahweh, to come into the earth realm. And when you made that contract with the Creator, Yahweh, you decided that there were certain things that you were coming into this world to fulfill. And opening up your soul scroll allows you to step into the missions and the mandate, the blueprints and the purposes of all of that. And if you're here listening to these, again, it is because you are a KingdomPreneur, a spiritual entrepreneur. And you want to show up and have big impact in the world. And showing up and having this big impact in the world means that you have to step into your greatness. You have to step into the fullness of your greatness that have the kind of impact that I believe that we're talking about here today. I spoke about being a munificent kingdom capitalist financier. Because the reason that you just don't want to make money, because as a spiritual person, you know that you need money to accomplish what it is that you've come here to do. You know you need money to facilitate your life, yet at the same time, it is not your most driving factor. Your burning desire is that you want to know who you are so that you could do what it was that you agreed to do when you came here from eternity. Now, being you from the space of nothingness, it really means that you move beyond people, you move beyond money. This is why in the beginning we needed to get your money story corrected. You needed to know what your money story was. It seems so far away. You needed to know what your money story was so that you could deal with any judgments and determinations and conclusions of self-worth that you were carrying around about you and money and other people's stories concerning money. You needed to come to terms with them. And obviously we could not accomplish all of them. What we have done is scratch the surface over these last days is what we've done. Now, from the space of nothingness, you know that you have tools and technologies and systems that you would have to have in place. But the thing is that you have them, but they don't have you. I remember a long time ago someone saying to me, you have the key, myself, to every door in this building. You don't own it. You haven't paid for it, but you have the key to everything. And I could not even appreciate what she was telling me at that moment as I can at this time, at this present reality, because I understand it from a completely different space now. And what it is that when you operate from this space, you're not making decisions because of the money. Money really is not a factor. Again, this is why we said in one of the lessons that we did that money is not your issue. Okay, you don't have a money problem. Really, you don't. You have a comprehension problem. You have a a a need to understand, and this is why I said you need to get out of the how things are done. When you're operating from this space where you receive everything but you embrace nothing, it literally makes you free. You are above the things that you're using. You're above the money, the people. And when I say above them, not from a sense of superiority, no, quite the opposite, from a space of serving for the empowerment and goodness of all, to bring transformation, transformational, transmutive empowerment through the work that you have agreed to do. I am not talking to people who are on this earth to play small. You're not on here to play small. You are here because you're here to have a big, large, and significant impact on the world. And it's time for you to embrace that. And if you embrace the nothingness of that, I'm telling you, you're going to live in a different space. You're going to live in a space where people are going to think, they're going to think you're some kind of mystical being or something, because the flow that you can operate from when you get into this space, and I'm not fully there, or should I say it, I'm there, but I'm beginning to learn how to operate and walk in this space, how to maneuver in this space, how to create in this space, because this is the space where you truly create from nothing. And when I really say you create from nothing, that's exactly what I mean. This is the space where you speak the reality, and see, terminology becomes a key here too, because we would say you speak the reality you're commanding to come into place. It's not so much even that it's a command, even though it is. But if you think about it from a monarchy perspective, everything in the kingdom was subject to the king. And when the king spoke his rule, or when the queen spoke, when the monarchy spoke, their rule, their authority in their realm was absolute. And I said to you earlier that when you step into your soul scroll mission as a kingdompreneur, you're stepping into the rule, the realm, the reign, and the royalty that Yahweh has given you to operate in that space. So that when you speak from your position in that space as the one who, the cosmos, the universe that's in the cosmos, and everything else has to comply, because you now made a demand of yourself. And therefore, because you've made that demand of yourself, you can make that demand of the creation itself. You know, there's so many things in Scripture that were hidden, and not so hidden in one level, but in plain sight. Again, I quote to you when it says in Romans 8, around verses 19 to 22, it speaks about the creation, the system of the world. And it says the whole creation is groaning for the manifestation. What is that? The actualization of when we, as human beings, who are made in the image of the Creator, come to the realization that we dominate everything except each other. And this is why things are a vibrational match, because the soulmate financer or funder for your big project and vision is already in alignment with you. And when you understand that, your soulmate customers and clients are already in alignment with you. When you understand that, and you step into that space of acting and operating and being, is a better way of saying it, absolutely being, vibrationally being one with that reality, and then operating in that space as if you know it. The synchronicities happen at such a phenomenal speed and space that it becomes mind-blowing until you get used to it. Think about Neo in the movie The Matrix. When Morpheus says to him, "Do you actually think it's air that you're breathing?" He was trying to get him to acclimate to his new reality. When Neo was in the tunnel and he was fighting with Mr. Smith, or he suddenly recognized, wait a minute, I can do this. When he was in the hallway with Mr. Smith and the bullets were coming at him, and he simply recognized, no, and he put out his hand. That movie, on so many levels, explains a lot of what we're talking about. When you are unlocked from the system of the world that says you have to work like a dog in order for anything to happen for you, that you have to climb the proverbial ladder, that is somebody else's reality. That's not the reality of you or me. It's not the reality of a KingdomPreneur. It is not. It's not the reality of one who is truly awakened and become aware of your capacity. And so we're going to talk about what are your capacities to create tomorrow. But today, again, I want you to think about what it means to operate literally. This is why I said to you, when you go back and write the operational budget for your project, not skimping on anything, because money is not your issue. If you're still operating from a space of cost, from the perspective of where it's going to come from, how am I going to pay for this? Wrong vibrational frequency. And the only thing that's going to continue to be pulled towards you, this is why we spoke about energy pulling, because you're learning how to get into the right vibrational match and frequency and then pull that to you, not from a place of need, not from a place of desperation, not from a place of buying into other people's judgments so that you have to prove yourself to anyone, you're not in that space anymore. And so what I want you to do is I want you to create from this space of being you, from the space of nothingness. So you see, because when you get into the nothingness of it, you are not putting any hidden demands or agendas on yourself to perform in a certain manner. And all your decisions now are not based on a monetary exchange, but they're happening from a space of what is the best action for me to take with the infinite possibilities and opportunities that are in front of me. What is the best procedures and for my enterprise? What is the ethos of my enterprise? And it's not from a space of dollars and cents, but it's from a space of creating to empower others, to serve others, and bring them to the same realization that you've come to, so that they can be free and operate from that space. That is a whole different dimension to be operating in. And quite frankly, when I said you operate from the space, let me read what I wrote here. I don't want to. I said, when you allow yourself to be a receptor of everything, it is the space of the true munificent kingdom capitalist financier. Because the word munificent means to be magnanimous, benevolent. It means to be open-handed, liberal, free, giving, philanthropic. It's operating from an absolute space of goodness towards yourself and others. Truly win-win. Not I say that it's win-win, but it's really for my benefit. No. It's operating from an enlightened Christ consciousness level, or dimension is a better word. Truly serving in the world, being you, and truly serving in the world for the transformational, transmutive empowerment of others. The reason is because you're no longer operating from a place of need and a place of needing affirmations or other people's approvals. You're not serving in a pretense humility. You're not serving to get, but rather you are serving to be a giver of goodness in the world. Do you recognize that if you can stay in the vibration of around 700 or so, that you can affect millions of people? You, one single person, can affect millions of people and change their atmosphere and begin to open and create a space for them to step into, of their goodness, of their greatness, of their brilliance. For me, that's what being a KingdomPreneur is all about. It's being able to help you unlock that reality so that you could learn to step into it and operate from that space. The energy, again, is the Christ, Yahshua, I told you. I don't believe in some just energetic force out there. I believe in the Creator. I believe the Creator is Yahweh, the Lord our God. I'm not talking about religion, so far beyond that. I believe He set a pattern and a system for the way that we step into our brilliance and greatness in Him. Because again, we've found a lot of people who've made a lot of money. So if you're just pursuing the money, the people who've had a lot of money and still are incredibly unhappy and still searching for purpose tells you that having money is not the answer. There are people who've gone out and tried to experience everything they can in the world, live on every one of the continents, visit the most prominent of nations, have the most fabulous kinds of sex, drink the most expensive bottles of wine. And then they still come back and say, what is the purpose of it all? I've had everything. I've done everything. And I'm still empty. For me, Yahweh, the Creator, says, I set before you two ways. The broad way, everybody can go that way. It's your choice. A narrow way requires more accountability and responsibility. And the door in that way is the Son, Yahshua. But the mystery is, he says, Christ in you, the hope of glory. This is the mystery. You carry around the Christ consciousness because you're made in the image of the Father. And so you can step into your greatness, you can step into your brilliance. And when you're operating in that space, this is a vibrational flow that you step into that we were meant to operate in. This is why you've awakened. This is why your awareness, this is why your consciousness is being drawn and pulled to something not just about selling a product or a service online. Not to have 7 figures, because you could have 10 figures. But it's not about the money. This is why you receive everything. You embrace nothing. You need nothing because you have everything. This now is true being you in the world, the real you. This is when you can create from your infinite space of being. So again, I would like you to just relax and take a deep breath. And I would just like you to think about embracing and receiving everything that you need right now. Everything that you require to accomplish your work, to fulfill your purpose. I want you to understand that you already have it. Because if you're still looking for it from the outside, you have not understood. You carry it already with you. And when you learn how to get into a place of knowing, receiving, and at one with it, that's when you can operate from the space of having everything and embracing nothing. It's where you can interact with people from a munificent space of goodness towards mankind and our environment. So I just want you to relax in that space. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to feel everything. Be everything. Sense everything. Take a deep breath. Expand yourself out as far as you can go. Take a deep breath. Keep expanding beyond the room you're in, beyond the car you're sitting in, wherever you are, beyond that space, beyond the neighborhood, the community, the state, the nation, beyond this planet and this world, into the galaxy and the universe. Take a deep breath. Expand out even more to the cosmos. And I want you to look up now. I want you to see the light. And I want you to move towards the light. That's the Creator. But in the center of the light is the sun. And I want you to receive the sun. Yahshua, receive the sun. I'm not talking about the energy of the physical sun. Because now you're stepping into the pattern that He put in place for you to function in. And as you receive the sun, expand even more. Now you're at one with the Father, the Creator, and the Son. And I just want you to take a minute, breathe. I know you can feel that. He is the divine flame. He is the light. And you are light. He says, let your light now shine. This is the space where you have everything that you need and embrace nothing. And I just want you to take that into your heart center. And you can just stay there for a while and meditate. And when you're ready, you just turn around and you come back down. That's magnificent. I love you, KingdomPreneurs. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel, which is KingdomPreneur, Alchemy of Entrepreneurship and Wealth. My Facebook group, which is of the same name, KingdomPreneur, Alchemy of Entrepreneurship and Wealth. I'll see you tomorrow.